Alright. I think we should be live now. Let me get some music going. Oh my god, my audio changed again. Oh, are you kidding me? What? Oh my god. Hold on. Alright. I think we should be good now. Looks like Paul and Canadian are already in chat. Give me a thumbs up if you're there, if you're getting me, and if the music, let me know whether the music is too loud or not, because I can't, I'm trying to change it here in my headphones and it's kind of loud, but it's not going up and down. If you... No, why is my mic saying the mic is picking up the music? Music is off. What? Oh. I'm doing it through OBS tonight because I'm doing it solo, so I thought I had all this stuff figured out. Let's see here. Audio input capture. What the heck? So it sounds like the music is playing when it's on my logo screen, but not when it's on my camera. Or maybe you can't hear it on either. You should be able to hear it. Oh, maybe it's... What the heck? I thought I had all this crap figured out and then my computer just goes freaking nuts right before I go live. Oh, maybe it's because I can't have my audio go to my headphones and my computer? It can only do one or the other? Crap. My mic audio is moving as if it's the music. Oh, maybe? Here, let's... Did that do anything? My god, this has been a freaking nightmare. Gee, your music source. Oh, I think you nailed it, Canadian. Now do you hear the music? I think that should have done it. Let me know if that worked on the music, or if you're still not hearing anything. Why is the desktop audio not moving? But the mic is. Maybe that did it? Oh my god, it's just been a freaking nightmare. Let me check my stream on my phone. Okay. Yeah. I think they should be good. Alright. Well, after that debacle, oh my god, my computer is about to make me freaking put my fist through my monitor. It was being so dumb. Alright, well, hello. Good evening, Angry Canadian, and Paul Hadouken. And Ray, hello, if you're still there. Thank you for joining me for another, what is it, open mic, which should have started about 40 minutes ago, but my computer's being stupid. Videos and stuff wouldn't load, just spinning indefinitely. It says, reboot your computer if it doesn't play, and so give it a minute, and it's still doing it, and I try another browser, it does it in that browser too. So I go to reboot, and there's Windows updates pending, so I reboot. And then I get back in, and still doing that. The videos are infinitely loading. And then I mess with turn my VPN on and off, thinking maybe it has something to do with my extensions. And then all of a sudden it just starts working for no reason. I did nothing that actually had any effect, and it just started working. So that was incredibly infuriating. But I think we're good now. Let's see here. Is the desktop audio maybe too loud? I'm gonna turn that down. Oh. All right. There we go. I don't know. Hopefully that's not too low on your end. I can't turn the volume down on my headset for some reason. So it's kind of loud in my ears. But anyways, well, I guess we'll get started finally. Let me go ahead and hit that and that. And get started with another episode of Open Mic. It is September 14th, at least for me. It's about 10:40 p.m., so a lot of other places it's probably already past midnight, making it the 15th. But hello, anybody who might be joining me tonight. I know a lot of my usuals are just probably still over in Melee Games, Melee Madness podcast. I was there before I came over here as well, so welcome. And so tonight on the docket, I was given an idea on Party Chat on Saturday from James, because I mentioned I have this old CD tray that I put all my PC games in when I was a PC gamer in high school, like 20 years ago. And he's like, you should go through that on a stream. And I was like, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that. So that is the plan. I don't think it'll take that long, but who knows. So I'm going to put that right there. And then depending on how long that takes, I was planning on streaming a couple games. Oh, great. And it's doing it again. It says, play that does not begin shortly. Try restarting your device. Freaking A. Piece of crap. It's never done this in the 12 years I've had this computer, and tonight it totally decides to do everything it can to piss me off. So we may not have music because it's being stupid. Which is the whole reason why I wanted to do it through OBS and not StreamYard, is so I could do the music. So, you piece of crap. Alright, this is not making me happy. We're not off to a good start. Today was not a good day. Even at work stuff. I had a bunch of bad news, so I was really looking forward to streaming tonight and having a good night. And nothing is going right. And this is just freaking crap. Alright, well I guess my computer is being absolutely retarded. I'll pull out. This was the computer I built in high school 20 years ago. First one I've ever built. And was top tier at the time I built it. Thought it'd be kind of fun to open it up a little bit and see what I can find that's in it before we talk about the games in my tower. So I wanted to boot this up the other day because there are files on here and games and stuff I wanted to transfer over to the computer I'm streaming on right now, namely the stuff that I did when I was learning how to screw around in Unreal Engine. I'm not even sure what engine it was. 3? Whatever one that Unreal Tournament 2003 and 4 were on. That one. Because I don't know if it was on the Unreal discs, but there was like this whole suite of like training videos, like almost like a whole semester's worth of like videos, if you were to like go through it yourself, of how to do everything you could possibly imagine in Unreal Engine. And so I watched a bunch of that, and I learned how to do a bunch of stuff in Unreal Engine. I built some maps in Unreal 2004, which were recreations of some maps that were my favorites from Halo 1. So I was hoping to get those off. And maybe stream those on here. Maybe I was thinking I could do it tonight, but hey, what's up, Tim's Talk? Good evening. Thank you for joining me on this disaster of an evening / live stream. But yeah, I was hoping to show that off on a live stream tonight. Obviously, it's not going to happen tonight because I haven't been able to get into it yet. But I tried booting it up, and it booted up, but it didn't get past the BIOS and gave me some error message. So what I think I need to do is I need to get one of the things where I can plug my hard drives in and see if I can pull the files off and have it read like a USB hard drive, like a flash drive. And then maybe I can get it working on this computer. But in the meantime, let's take this out and see what the basically top tier GPU was in, I think, 2001, I think is when I built this. So it's an ATI, let's see if it says the model, 291D. Now let's leave that on there. ATI Radeon 9700 Pro, 128 megabytes of video RAM. And it doesn't even say what. I have to go back and look whether, because now we got DDR3, 4, and 5 video RAM. I don't know what this is. What DDR it would be. I'm assuming it'd probably be 2 because it's like maybe even 1. Maybe there wasn't DDR2 at the time. But question anybody knows that, because I think now GPUs are basically all PCIe, I think. I have to get, let's see here. No, that's the GPU I got for my new computer. Does it even say what it is? What the interface is? It does not. But I think what I got here was a very short-lived interface, and it was AGP, I think. Because I think at the time most GPUs were PCI, which was like times 2 or times 4 speed, and AGP was the top tier, and it was times 8 speed. So I was not the talk of the town, but I was able to. I didn't really have any other PC gamers at the time, anyways, so I didn't have anybody to really brag to. But it ran everything I threw at it. Let's see here. What RAM do I got in here? Let's screw my GPU back in place, and I've only got 1 stick of RAM in here, even though I've got 3 RAM slots. And the power, these stupid cords are in the way. Come on. There we go. Oh, the freaking GPU is in the way of the RAM slot. Can't even push it down to pop it out. Alright, gotta pull that out again. Yes, it was, when I started, I don't know if you could hear it or not because it's been all wonky on the stream, but that was Paul's music from Lower Brinstar. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, surprisingly, I only have 1 stick of RAM in here. I'm surprised by that. What do we got here? Ooh, a whole 512 megabytes of RAM right there. I think I was planning on getting another stick to upgrade it to a gigabyte, but obviously I never did, because there's only 1 stick of RAM in here. Is that the wrong way? Oh, it is the wrong way. Alright. Yeah, so the DJ Access Paul Hadouken playlist should still be streaming, but because my computer is being a complete piece of crap tonight, it played 2 videos and then stopped. And that's what's been pissing me off for the last 45 minutes, is that I couldn't get videos to play. So I couldn't get my music, 'cause that's where it comes from, is the Paul Hadouken and DJ Access playlist. Because you my buddies, not that I have a huge audience, but wherever I can spread your music, I'd be happy to. Alright, and I got 2 hard drives in here. Let's see. How big are these hard drives? Storage capacity wise, of course, they are 3.5 inches. HDDs. No, solid state didn't exist back then. Goodness, all these power cords, get out of the way. Oh crap, I didn't want to unplug that. Shoot. Alright, so first hard drive we got here, Maxtor, 120 gigabytes. Oh yeah. A second hard drive, Western Digital, 80 gigabytes. Even better. So, and I got a DVD DVD drive and a CD burner, because back in the early 2000s, that's how we did our music. And so let's see. So I got a DVD drive and the CD burner, and then floppy and the zip disk. We use zip disk because they had, I think, like 100 megabyte storage capacity compared to floppies like 1.4 megabytes. So that was the top of the line PC I built in, I think it was my freshman year of high school. So, all right. let's get into the games. Let's see if I can get the music to play. Hey, there we go. It's playing. I think you should be able to hear it too. Keep playing, and don't stop. Oh, now the video's playing, but the rest of the page doesn't load. My God, the computer's being a piece of crap tonight. Alrighty, so let's get into the CD Tower. So I did go through this weekend and logged because on that computer I just went through. It came with a program, and you program into it which tray each disc is in, and then you just open up the program and hit the game you want, and it'll open the tray. It'll pop the tray for you because there's a little motor in here. Although I think the motor burned out a long time ago, so I gotta stick my knife in and pry each one out. But I went through this weekend and logged each one, but I don't remember what order they're in. So we'll get right on into it. So first tray. What do we got in here? First tray. Oh. Rebel Assault, the original. Very. What if I had to compare this to a console generation? Probably SNES N64. Probably PlayStation 1. It could the PlayStation 1 probably had the power to run this. Basically an on-rail shooter, non-canon EU game. And so that probably means the next two are Rebel Assault 2 discs 1 and 2. So I'll pop both of those. Yep, Rebel Assault disc 1. Rebel Assault 2 disc 1 and Rebel Assault 2 disc 2. Also on-rail shooters, very much in the vein of the first one. Rebel Assault 2, I believe, was the introduction and possibly the only Lucasfilms property that had the Phantom tie in it, which was basically the MacGuffin of the story that they're trying to steal, break in and steal this in order to reverse engineer it for the rebels. I believe it takes place around the time of Empire Strikes Back, because I think the Battle of Hoth takes place in one of these games. But yeah, this Phantom tie was the first TIE fighter that had a cloaking device. So, yeah. Alright, so what do we got here next? Next, speaking of TIE fighters, Star Wars TIE Fighter, which someone sent me the link that there's a mod to basically up-res a lot of this, make it more modern, but this was a fantastic space flight combat sim. And this series of games, because there's TIE Fighter, there's X-Wing, there's X-Wing Alliance, and there's X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. This is the only one that I played was TIE Fighter, but I know of the other ones, they all play the same, built off the same engine. But this takes place, I think, after Return of the Jedi, because Thrawn is in it, and you take orders from him. No, it can't be after Return of the Jedi, because Vader, I'm pretty sure Vader was in it too. So, probably sometime during the original trilogy, before Return of the Jedi. But excellent game. I would love to see games like this make a comeback, because awesome space flight sim combat, and you could control like literally everything. The closest thing to come to this since the 90s when these games came out was Star Wars Squadrons, which I haven't played, but I know it was very much in the vein of this game. Great game. So if you tuned into Party Chat on Saturday with Melee James and Melee K, we talked about, or I brought up for some reason that I got this pack from like Costco. It had like 6 games in it, and they had all these different bundles. Like the one I got was the Star Wars bundle with a bunch of Star Wars stuff in it, and there was other one. I think there were even other Lucasfilm ones that had like Monkey Island and Full Throttle, had all the point and clicks in it. Like, what was it, Day of the Tentacle and Maniac Mansion, stuff like that. They had tons of other ones, but I got the Star Wars one, and I mentioned that, so all the games we've gone through so far were in that bundle, and it came with a demo disc for Dark Forces. It had the first 3 levels, and I played the heck out of that demo, but I never actually owned the original game, but I found someone who did, and they burned it for me. So I got Dark Forces, the burned copy here. So, with the recent announcement of Dark Forces Remastered, I'm very much looking forward to that, and can't wait for that to come out whenever that does. I'll definitely be playing that. Kyle Katarn, that was the introduction of Kyle Katarn. At least in video games, he may have been in books before that, but the books cover like his backstory, so you kind of know a little bit about him when you play Dark Forces. Don't quote me on it, on which one came out first, the game or the books, but I want to say the books came out first. But yeah, Kyle Katarn is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. He's my second favorite Star Wars character of all time. Just behind Darth Bane is my number 1 favorite Star Wars character. But yeah, that was the introduction of him in video games. He was just a mercenary, because he originally went to the Imperial Academy to become a stormtrooper, but he changed his mind or dropped out. I don't know the specifics, but he became a mercenary, and he did jobs for whoever, and he started doing some jobs for the New Republic. No, it wasn't the New Republic. It was Rebel Alliance, because in the first level of Dark Forces, Kyle Katarn stole part of the plans for the first Death Star. Not Cassian Andor. That's a fake Kyle Katarn. So, Kyle Katarn is the GOAT, and he's the one that stole the Death Star plans. And all the games that came after it were freaking awesome as well. And we'll probably get into those. So, what's up next? Yep, the next one. So, the next 2 is Jedi Knight, Disc 1 and Disc 2. The sequel to Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, where he starts getting... you play through... Let's see here. When do you get your lightsaber? You get your lightsaber, I think, on level 3. 3 or 4. It's pretty early in the game. But hey, welcome back, Canadian. Oh, alright, well, see, you'll be here for a few minutes until you have to bounce out again. But yeah, so this is the one where you start tracking down your dad, Morgan Katarn, and find out that he was killed by Jarek, an Inquisitor, who's a dark Jedi. And so you go on this path, basically a revenge quest, and Jarek is the leader of the 7 Dark Jedi. This takes place after Return of the Jedi. So this is in the gap that a lot of like Disney Star Wars covers right now. But this is canon, Disney Star Wars is not. And so he finds out that his dad was either a Jedi, or I know his dad was friends with a Jedi, Ron, R-A-H-N, who was also killed by Jarek. And so he goes on a quest and starts his Jedi training and gains force powers and fights through the 7 Dark Jedi, and eventually to take on Kyle Katarn, or he is Kyle Katarn, take on Jarek at the Valley of the Jedi at the end. And so that's 2 discs. So disc 1 and 2. I'll skip the next one because that's just disc 2. Then we got the sort of sequel, Mysteries of the Sith. The first time I think I ever heard about a game having an expansion, probably. This obviously takes place after, where Kyle is more... I don't know if he's master level yet, but he's taken some training with Luke, and he takes Mara Jade under his wing as his apprentice, because she's just recently turned from the dark side to the light side, and he trains her, and you play for the first 4 levels, I believe, as Kyle, and then you switch and play the rest of the game as Mara Jade, because Kyle goes missing, and you're trying to track him down and find out what happened to him. Good story in this one. Built on the exact same engine as Jedi Knight, so it looks and plays exactly the same. They added a few new weapons. But yeah, more good stuff. Also, the first time I think I ever heard about the Islamari? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's spelled really weird, but it's the little like iguana lizard creatures that create a force void bubble, essentially. And when you're within the range of their bubble, Jedi or just any force user isn't able to use their force powers. So that was an interesting concept that I had never thought of before until this game. Wait, the 7 dudes is that where Disney got their idea for the Kylo guys? It very well could be. They rip off literally everything from the EU. But yeah, so the 7 Dark Jedi, obviously there was the leader was Jarek. His right-hand man, his second in command was a woman. Her name was Saris. And then Bach, who was, because Jarek, he looks human, but he's actually not Mirialan, because Mirialan are green. Mira Luca, they have very similar species names, but Mira Luca look exactly like humans, but they don't have eyes. Their entire species is force sensitive, and they see through the force. So Jarek is a Mira Luca. Saris is human female. Bach is a Twi'lek, and he uses dual lightsabers. I think that was the first time I ever saw the concept of dual-wielding lightsabers. There's Yun, who's a human, or I think he was human. No, he was not human. He's also a near-human. They look exactly like humans, but I think he's the same species as Quinlan Voss, I believe. I want to say he is Kifu, I think is what that species is. Kiffu. And they look exactly like humans. I don't know what the difference is between Kifu and human. So that's Jarek, Saris, Bach, Yun. You got the twins, which is Gork and Pick. Gork is a genetically modified Gamorrean guard, and he's way bigger than, probably twice the size of any standard Gamorrean. And then Pick is somehow a more evolutionarily evolved quaking monkey lizard, so he's the same species as Jabba's jester, the little guy sits on his lap. Crumb, Salacious Crumb, and Pick are the same species, or Zort if you're friends with Tom, theme park, Rogue Attraction, I think. He's got Zort on his shoulder all the time. So the Gork and Pick, and then who am I missing? Jarek, Saris, Bach, Yun, Gork and Pick. I'm missing someone. Oh, Ma. Ma is the 7th one. And it's funny because I've brought this up because, especially with all the debate going on lately with Disney Star Wars, with people surviving lightsaber wounds, and people like, oh yeah, well, Darth Maul survived getting bisected. Yes, he did, and he fell down a massive shaft and should have died, just like Palpatine. I mean, technically he did. They both did, because I don't consider either of their returns to be canon, except for Palpatine's clone return in Dark Empire. But Ma also had some sort of lightsaber accident or something. I think it might have been, it was in the opening scene, in the opening of Jedi Knight, in the very opening cutscene, before you even get to the menu of the game, when you boot up the game. Ron, the guy I mentioned a few minutes ago, bisects Ma and cuts him in half. He survives, and he gets around by, he's basically just a torso and up, so he has no legs. And he exists on basically a little hover slate that he just hovers around in, which they could have taken and done with Darth Maul in Clone Wars, but they gave him weird spider legs, and then they gave him robot legs. But yeah, so that's all the 7 Dark Jedi that you go through in Jedi Knight. So that very well could have been where the idea came from for the Knights of Ren. I hate this stupid little thing in the bottom right corner of the YouTube chat where it's got the heart, the smile, because it's blocking the bottom comment, so I can't see the whole comment there, Canadian. Is that the creature Thrawn has in the old trilogy books? I believe so. I believe that's how he counters Jedi. And prevents them from using their force powers, is the Ysalmari. I believe is how it's pronounced. But yeah, they're just like these little lizard-like creatures, and they project some sort of force void bubble. So I do believe that Thrawn utilized those against the Jedi. Alright, so next up, if we're going down the Kyle Katarn rabbit hole, this should be Jedi Outcast. And it's empty, because I think I took my... Where the heck is my Jedi Outcast disc? Crap. Did I lose it? I have no idea where my Jedi Outcast disc is, and that's one of my favorite games. Alrighty then. Well, you can get them on cheap, for cheap on Steam, so I plan to do that once I get back into PC gaming. Buy the Star Wars pack with all the different Star Wars games that I loved from my childhood. Got another blank one, an empty one, which I think was for... Yeah, and another blank one. That would have been for Jedi Academy Disc 1 and 2, which I also never actually had the legit copy. I've got Jedi Academy Discs 1 and 2 burned as well. And those are right here. Somewhere. Yeah, there we go. I think they're both in here. Jedi Academy, Disc 2. I think they're both in that sleeve. Alright, so next up we got... I've shown this one a couple times. I've still got the disc and the sleeve. But I kept the sleeve because it's got my product key on the back in case I ever want to play Halo on PC again. So one of the cool things about Halo on PC is... obviously you could play it online. This was before Xbox Live existed. And they also added, I think, 4, maybe 6 new maps that were not on the Xbox version, as well as a number of new weapons. They added... So for the maps, I think one of them was called like Gyrophobia or Gyrogoraphobia or Gyroscopia, something like that. There was Death Island, which was basically the silent cartographer level, shrunk down to the size of a multiplayer map. That was probably my favorite of the unique maps. There was Timberland, there was 2 Timberland-like maps, but one was actually called Timberland, and one of them was basically Blood Gulch, but instead of being kind of deserty, it was more foresty, so you had like evergreen trees. And then there was another one that was basically Sidewinder, because Sidewinder is basically a big U, and it was smaller, and instead of being snow, it was also Timberland, so you had evergreen trees and stuff. I feel like I might be missing a map, but it's been so long since I've played this. I think those maps eventually made it into Master Chief Collection, but I've barely played any of Master Chief Collection online. I've basically only played the campaigns and stuff, so I don't know for certain. But some of the other things they added some new weapons, like the flamethrower was added in here, and that thing was beastly powerful. It could kill anything in just a tiny bit of fire. But it burned through the ammo crazy fast because it was so powerful. The other thing that was nice, because in Halo 1, you'll come across enemies, I think might only be grunts, but in the Xbox version, you'll come across grunts all the time that use the fuel rod cannon, but when you kill them, the fuel rod cannon explodes, so you can never pick it up. In this one, they actually added the fuel rod cannon, so you can pick it up and you can use it as a heavy weapon. But it has an arc, but it has a lot more ammo than a rocket launcher. And, obviously when you pick it up, it always has 100 ammo. I don't remember how many shots you could get out of 100% battery. But you can shoot it pretty fast. So if you're not trying to, shoot something across the map, because rockets have basically unlimited range, but this had an arc, so it didn't have a limited range. But if you're fighting something within a decent amount of range, the fewer odds likely to win, although you may not kill enemies in one hit. I think those were the only weapons they added. However, they did also add the rocket warthog, which fired three. I think it fired 3 rockets in the succession. So you'd hit the button once and it'd go, and then it would, you'd have to reload for a few seconds before you could fire again. But I do remember that was in here as well. And I think they might have also added the warthog that didn't have a turret in it, and you could fit 4 people in. Although I may be getting that mixed up with a later Halo. But yeah, that was Halo on PC. Other than that, it was exactly the same as the Xbox version. What do we got next? Alrighty. So this will get us through a big chunk. My introduction to stealth games, and still, in my opinion, the king of the stealth genre. Got our man Sam Fisher here, the original Splinter Cell, which I believe is 4 discs. So we'll be able to get through a number of them here. But yeah, Splinter Cell, love the whole Splinter Cell franchise. Of the original trilogy, of the entire trilogy, Chaos Theory is arguably the best. But of the original trilogy, my ranking is Chaos Theory, then 1, then 2. And 2... So 1 is just Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell 2 wasn't called Splinter Cell 2. It was called Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. Same engine as this game. So they got it out pretty quickly following this one. I didn't like it as much as this one. It was still a good game, though. One thing that was kind of cool is that there were some running jokes in 2 that you wouldn't necessarily get if you didn't play this one. So that was kind of funny. Like some of the things that you do in the first game, some guys will be standing around in certain parts of the level and be like, we'll be referencing some of the things that you did in the first game, which is kind of funny. But yeah, Chaos Theory, the third one, they built it on a new engine, and it looked amazing compared to these ones. And then there was Double Agent, which was okay. And then Conviction and Blacklist. Conviction and Blacklist were 360 games, and those two were built on the same engine, so they came out pretty close to each other. And they were much more action. They're still considered stealth games, but they're much more action-oriented because you can mark and execute, which totally changes the dynamic of the game and speeds up the game. Hey, what's up, Vanquish? I don't. You can get Pandora Tomorrow. You doubt that you can get Pandora Tomorrow on digital. I have no idea. I would have to look. I have almost zero Steam library, as Steam didn't even exist when I was a PC gamer. But yeah, so Conviction and Blacklist I liked. My biggest problem with those two was with Blacklist. They recast Michael Ironside for the voice of Sam Fisher, because the entire franchise, up until the very last games, Sam Fisher was voiced by Michael Ironside, who's awesome. I love that guy. But they recast him, the voice actor for him, for a much younger guy, even though the game doesn't take place in the past. It takes place as the most recent one in the timeline, so it didn't make much sense. Oh, so you're saying that there's something weird about the rights on Pandora Tomorrow, that one specifically you may not be able to get on digital anymore. I have not heard anything about that, but I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, so they recast him, Michael Ironside, for, I don't know the actor's name, but I found out later that something else I knew him from was he was in the first few seasons of the show Smallville. He played Whitney, who was Kristen Cruick's character. Was that Lana Lang? I think she played Lana Lang. And her boyfriend for those first few seasons was his character's name was Whitney in Smallville. He was like the jock who was like the quarterback of the football team. He's the one who voiced Sam Fisher in Blacklist. So this is a series that we desperately need a new game in. One thing that pisses me off is that the original trilogy got bundled into a collection on PlayStation, but not Xbox, which drives me nuts, because I want to play through these games again and get achievements for them. And yeah, the fact that it came out on PlayStation, not Xbox, pisses me off because Splinter Cell, it was for a while, it was a timed console exclusive on Xbox. You couldn't get the original Splinter Cell you could get it on PC and Xbox, but you couldn't get it on PlayStation for I don't know how long, like a year, maybe a couple years. I'd have to look at the time, but I know there was a time where you could not get Splinter Cell on PlayStation. But then years down the road, PlayStation gets the original Splinter Cell Trilogy collection and Xbox doesn't. I'm still bitter about that, but we need a new one. There's been talks of remastering the original. Hopefully it's a remaster and not a remake, because pretty much anything that gets remastered now, unless you got the right people behind it, turns out not to be as good as the original. So I'd prefer a sequel, a new game in the franchise, than a remaster. But or I'd love to take that original trilogy collection on Xbox. And Vanquish says, yeah, Blacklist is absolutely amazing except for no Michael Ironside. Yeah, exactly. I liked Blacklist a lot. I just love the whole franchise. So let's see here. So I'm pretty sure it's 4 discs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 5. Let's see if that's Splinter Cell or something else. So okay, yep. So there's Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, the second one. Reflection. I need to. Which I want to say Pandora Tomorrow was the introduction of what Splinter Cell, when it comes to multiplayer, is most well known for, is the Spies versus Mercs multiplayer mode. That was a popular thing because that was one of the first sort of not asynchronous, but asymmetrical multiplayer. Because one team plays as the spies, who are very nimble but don't have weapons. They have tools and stuff. And, they have night vision and can climb around and stuff, but they don't have guns. And their goal is to get in and hack these different devices and download the data. While the other team plays as mercenaries, who are playing in first person and have guns, and they have some tools as well. But they're hunting the spies and preventing them from hacking their data. So, one of the first examples of asymmetrical multiplayer, and it did a pretty good job. I never played it in Pandora Tomorrow, but I did play Spies vs. Mercs later on in Conviction. No, Blacklist. Blacklist had it. Conviction, I know, had co-op. I think Conviction and Blacklist both had co-op, and I played the co-op in those. But I think it was Blacklist. I actually played Spies vs. Mercs. No. That I don't know if Spies vs. Mercs was either in either Conviction or Blacklist. I had to double check. It was Double Agent. Double Agent, I remember, had Spies vs. Mercs because that's some of the only achievements I still don't have in Double Agent is the multiplayer. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure Pandora Tomorrow was the introduction of that. And let's see here. I don't think Pandora Tomorrow was 4 discs like the original was. Pandora Tomorrow Disc 2. Yeah, so the original Splinter Cell was 4 discs, but Pandora Tomorrow was only 2 discs. And I don't remember Pandora Tomorrow looking as good or as sharp as the original Splinter Cell. So that was also one of the things that I liked about the original better. Then we got, of course, the greatest game in the franchise, Chaos Theory, where, as Mark said on Party Chat one time, one thing they added in this that changed the whole game was adding a knife. Because there was no knife in the first two. You basically, to kill, I don't even know if you could kill him. You basically have to elbow him, and you have to do it twice to knock him out. Unless you sneak up behind him and suffocate him and make him pass out. But that was a game changer. Obviously, you could kill enemies with your guns, but I don't know if you could kill somebody in hand-to-hand combat. I think you would only knock them out. But it's been a long time since I played all of them. So I'd love that remastered trilogy to come to Xbox so I could play them again and get achievements. So let's see here. That was the last of my PC Splinter Cell, so the next one is not going to be a Splinter Cell game. I'm thinking it might go to Valve next. Nope, empty tray. Let's see here. Another empty tray. Empty tray. I was right. I should put some of these in here because I've got a burned copy of Half-Life Opposing Force, a burned copy of the original Half-Life, but, I have a legit copy of Half-Life Blue Shift, which was the worst expansion. You play as Barney, the security guard, and it was really short. It wasn't very good. But obviously the original Half-Life was awesome. But Opposing Force, you basically play through the game as the grunts that are hunting down Gordon Freeman in Half-Life. And this game was freaking awesome. I actually liked this better than the original Half-Life game. They're both awesome, though. If you've never played Opposing Force, that was an awesome expansion. I should, since I have an actual disc, I should probably put Blue Shift in my tower here. But anyways, I wanted to get off on that tangent because next is Half-Life 2 Disc 1. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 2 was like 6 discs. Still one of the greatest games of all time. A fantastic shooter, great story. Compared to Half-Life 1 and Opposing Force and Blue Shift, those were all built on the same engine. They all, when it comes to comparing them to console games, they'd probably be on par with like GoldenEye or Perfect Dark. Half-Life 2 would be probably on par with like Halo. This was definitely next gen. Maybe more like Halo 3. Because, yeah, I'd probably say Halo 3, because this definitely looks a lot better than Halo 1 did. Or maybe Halo 2, because Halo 2 is... Both Halo 1 and Halo 2 were on original Xbox, but Halo 2 had a lot better... The skin textures, especially on some of the Covenant, looked like crap. But overall, the graphics in Halo 2 were definitely a step up from Halo 1. But Halo 1 was a launch title, and Halo 2 came out a number of years later when they were able to better utilize the hardware. So, but it was around that time. Played this before Steam existed, because I think Steam became a thing during somewhere around the time that Half-Life 2 came out. Maybe it came out with Half-Life 2. I might have had to create a Steam account to play Half-Life 2. But yeah, if you've never played Half-Life 2 and you're a fan of first-person shooters or sci-fi stories, definitely play it, because Half-Life 2 is amazing. Let's see here. Oh, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Half-Life 2 was 5 discs. Then, obviously, we got Half-Life 2 Episode 1, which I bought, and I never actually played it on PC. I didn't actually play Half-Life... No, I played Episode 1 on disc. I never bought Half-Life 2 Episode 2. I didn't end up playing Episode 2 until Orange Box on Xbox 360. So, alright, I think that's it for Valve games. Next up, here we go. That's what we've been talking about a few times lately. Original Unreal Tournament. Game of the Year edition. I got into this because a buddy of mine in high school was into Half-Life Unreal Tournament. So let's see here. How many discs? I want to say it was only 2. Yep, there's disc 2. Yeah, only 2 discs. But yeah, an arena shooter like Quake. Fun stuff. But yeah, Paul, Unreal Tournament. So yeah, very a game that had a huge modding community was the Unreal Tournament. So that's 2 discs for Unreal Tournament, the original. I never owned Unreal Tournament 2003, but I had a demo, and I played the heck out of that demo. But because I love that demo so much, next year they released the sequel, or basically... Oh yeah, Paul, I used to mod the hell out of Unreal Tournament. Yeah. There was a huge modding scene for Unreal Tournament. But there was Unreal Tournament 2003. I had the demo, played the heck out of that. And then a year later, built on the same engine, just with a bunch more stuff, there was Unreal Tournament 2004. And I played the bejesus out of this game. And I didn't mod Unreal Tournament, the original one, very much, but I modded the heck out of Unreal Tournament 2004. I have lots of fun mod memories with this. And I believe Unreal Tournament 2004 is 6 discs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see here. Look at that, disc 5, and then the play disc is disc 6. This, once I get stuff off the computer that I was showing you at the beginning of the stream, because that's the one I was modding. I was learning to mod myself and build stuff in Unreal Tournament. Unreal Engine was for Unreal 2004. So I've got all my files on that computer. So I'm going to try and get them off. See if I can install Unreal Tournament 2004 on this PC. And I'm going to stream that at some point. And have a huge trip down memory lane. So, alright. So after Unreal Tournament 2004... I have no idea what might be next. So one of the genres I don't really play anymore, but I played a heck of a lot of this one. Never online. I never had the mental fortitude, I guess, the courage to go online and play it because I knew I'd get wrecked. I wasn't good at it, but I had a lot of fun going online and playing this RTS, a genre I don't typically play. But see if any of you have ever even heard of this. Total Annihilation. An RTS, and you basically play two sides of different factions of warring machines, robots. Not quite like Transformers, they don't transform. But there's one faction of robots that basically wants to turn into humans or something, and they want to live in very green, luscious planets full of life. And then I don't even remember what that faction was called. Because I was always on the side of the other faction that where their planets were made entirely out of metal. And that faction was called the Core. Was it the Arm and the Core? I think it was called the Arm. Was the human-like... I mean, they're still robots, but they want to be more like humans. Although I don't even know if humans even existed in this universe. But I want to say that was the Arm, and then the Core were the ones that wanted to keep everything machine-like. And that was the faction I always played. But yeah, this was a RTS with some crazy units that you could... They added... So I'm pretty sure there were 2 discs on this. Let's see. Yeah, Total Annihilation Disc 2. And it had 2 expansions, if I remember correctly. Yep, there's one. Yeah. So I'll start with the second expansion was Battle Tactics, which added some additional campaigns to play through, so more story content. But the expansion that I was a fan of was the Core Contingency, and added a bunch of new units and stuff to both sides. Basically super units. If you were able to get some of these units built, and there was some super units, and there was like some super mega ultra units. And the super units themselves were so powerful you could basically walk through armies and mow them down single-handedly, slowly. But then like the super mega ultra units were like 10 times more powerful than that, and could walk through and march through entire armies by themselves and just wiping them all out single-handedly like that. And it was awesome, some of the stuff they added in this expansion. So that was the 2 Total Annihilation expansions. What's next? My burned copy of, I don't even know if you could see it, but StarCraft, which I never even beat. My friend burned this for me. I think I completed... I'm pretty sure... Alright, it's been a long time since I played it, and I was never into StarCraft. I believe you play... you can play through all 3 factions. There's a campaign for each, but I think you play through them in a certain order. And I think you play through the Terran campaign first. And I think I beat that. But I know for a fact I never beat the Zerg or Protoss campaign. But I don't know if you had to play them in sequence. I don't know which one I played, which one would have been next. Oh, I got someone in my Twitch chat. Venumenverse. So, I don't know if you're still there, but thank you for joining me if you are. But yeah, so don't have a lot to say on StarCraft because I never really played much of it. Like I said, it was never big. RTS. Not a genre I liked as a kid, just playing against the CPU, computers. But I never went online and played versus other people. Next up, we got the original Command and Conquer, Disc 1. I believe I completed the campaign for the GDI. I don't think I ever completed the campaign for the Nod. Disc 1, so I'm assuming that would be Disc 2. What's next? Alright. Next up. The only Mech Warrior I've ever played, but I love the heck out of it. Mech Warrior 4 Vengeance. Mech games are cool. Not long after this, I think Mech Assault came out as a launch title on the original Xbox, but it was basically like a dumbed-down version of this, and very hand-holdy. Like, you basically just pick your mech, and then you go into battle. You can't customize it at all. Mech Warrior, you pick literally everything on your mech, and you design it and load it out, every inch of it. And I love that. So, there's all sorts of different mechs. There's the light ones that are fast, but they can't take much damage, and they don't do a whole lot of damage. There's your medium, probably the most popular one. I thought it might be the one on the disc, but no, that's not the one. I don't remember what that one's called. But probably the most popular, most recognizable mech is a medium class mech. It's great all around in speed and firepower and armor. But is the Mad Cat, and that's the one that has by default, it has 2 giant boxes of shoulder-mounted rockets, and it's got like 12 rockets or something on it. But there's two mechs that are the super heavy class, because the maximum tonnage goes up to 100 tons. There's the Atlas, which is kind of like the one that everyone reveres. Like, if an Atlas comes into town, you better get out of there quick because that thing is loaded to the teeth. I didn't ever like the Atlas. One of the interesting things about the Atlas too was that it was basically like a large human, because most of the mechs all had reverse articulated legs. So instead of your knees bending forward, they bent backwards. But the Atlas, his knees bent forward, so it walked like a regular person. And the actual weapon slots it had available were not that great. So I don't know why the Atlas was revered as like the one to look out for. The other 100, super heavy class mech that was 100 ton was my favorite mech. It was very slow, especially when you loaded it out to the max, because you didn't have to load it to 100 tons. You could load it to lower and you'd be faster. But I was okay with going slow because I had the max armor and like the max firepower. I could waste literally anything and take so much damage and never die. I think it was called the Dashi, Daishi. I want to say it was. That was my favorite mech. Was the Dashi. So that was Mech Warrior 4 Disc 1. So I'm going to say Disc 2. I don't remember how many discs Mech Warrior 4 was. It was only 2 discs. So then Mech Warrior 4 had an expansion called Black Knight, added another campaign where you play as like a mercenary for hire, and added a new round of mechs. Some good ones in there too. That was fun. You know what? I wonder if Disc 2 had the Mad Cat on it. Let's see here. Nope, same one as Disc 1. So let's see here. What? Alright, so after Mech Warrior, I think we brought this up in open mic 2 weeks ago. So we got Enter the Matrix. One of the first, well, not one of the first bullet time games, because Max Payne really did it. But I think this was the first Matrix game, and everyone was super excited about it to play through Matrix with bullet time and stuff. You don't actually play as Neo, although I think you do come across him in cutscenes. But you play through as Ghost and Niobe, who were the captain. Well, Niobe was the captain of the Logos, which is the ship that she gives to Neo in the Matrix Revolution so that he can go take his trip to the Machine City. And then hit her gunner, and her like second in command was Ghost. And you play through the game as Ghost and Niobe. Fun, but pretty janky. Not a terribly great game. If you're gonna go play a Matrix game, play The Path of Neo. That game was much better, but I don't know if it was on PC. I have it on Xbox, but I have no way of playing it since it's not backwards compatible, and I don't have an original Xbox, so I can't play it anymore. Which I brought up on Party Chat a couple weeks ago, I believe. And Enter the Matrix Disc 2. I want to say this one's 4 discs. Enter the Matrix Disc 3. Enter the Matrix Play Disc, Disc 4. So I was right. Enter the Matrix is 4 discs. Alright. Next up, another burn game from a buddy of mine. Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. The first Rainbow Six game I ever played. I wasn't a huge fan of it because it's a tactical shooter. It's not like, not very action-packed. It's, one bullet will kill you. It's very realistic. You're supposed to, basically, before you go into each level, put waypoints on your map to basically plot out your path through the entire level. And you don't ever even see your guns. It's always in first person. But you can switch between basically your crosshairs and no crosshairs. But you never actually see the gun that you're holding, which was kind of annoying. So, when I eventually later on played Rainbow Six Vegas, I didn't have high hopes for it, but it was a very different game, and I really enjoyed playing both Rainbow Six Vegases 1 and 2. Those were great Rainbow Six games. Speaking of, I was very excited for the sequel to Rainbow Six Vegas, which was, or the sequel to Vegas 2, which was originally announced at E3, I don't remember what year it was, 2014 or something, and it was going to be Rainbow Six Patriots, and it was basically about domestic terrorism, and that game looked awesome. I was really stoked for that, but then they scrapped it, and the next Rainbow Six game we got was that one that's still going on. It's a live service game, Rainbow Six. Shoot, it's gonna bug me now. It's I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass, or at least it was. Let's see here. Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is what we got instead of Patriots, and it's basically multiplayer only, no campaign. So I was very disappointed in the route that they took with that. So, alright, so that was Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. That should be up here, because that's also a Tom Clancy game. That should be up with my Splinter Cell games. Alright, so next up we got SimCity 3000. I played the original SimCity, the Max. Is this still under Maxis, or was this EA yet? Let's see here. Trying to see if it has anything on here. Oh yeah, SimCity 3000, Electronic Arts. But yeah, I played the original SimCity, which was, Maxis games. I played a lot of the old Sim games. Sim Earth, although I didn't understand what I was doing in that game. I had Sim Ant, but I never actually really played it. The original SimCity. My favorite, though, and I was actually pretty good at it, was Sim Tower. I liked playing that one. And then I played SimCity 2000. Oh, I want to say there was even a Sim Mars. But then there was SimCity 2000. I played that, and I really liked that. I was never really good at it. I just liked building stuff and calling in the hazards, like the aliens and the tornadoes and just watch everything blow up. Oh, my favorite original Sim game was Simcopter. That was my absolute favorite. I played the bejesus out of Simcopter. I didn't know it for the longest time, but there was a cheat in it that unlocked an Apache that had a machine gun and missiles. When I found that out, oh my god, I love just going around blowing everything up, setting all the buildings in the world on fire, and shooting my machine gun and blowing up the cars on the road and shooting all the little helpless people running around. That was my favorite sim game, was Simcopter. I played the heck out of that. But yeah, then I got SimCity 3000. I really barely even played this one. I literally don't ever even remember playing this. I know I did because I would not have gotten a game back then and not played it. But I literally remember nothing about this game. I didn't even know that I had it until I went through this tower, this last weekend. But yeah, Vanquish, he loves Sim Tower too. I got really good at that one. I made a lot of money in that one. That was probably the first management game I ever played, and especially for a couple of decades, the only one, because I never even played any management games again, and probably until Xbox One era. All right, after SimCity 3000, we got another burn game. I never actually played this, but the original Deus Ex. One of my buddies in high school could not stop raving about how amazing this game was. I played the first level, and I never really got into it, so I don't know. I know about it. I have played the 360 one where you play as Adam Jensen. I never asked for this. I never remember which one's which, but there was Deus Ex Human Revolution. I think that was the first one. And I think the second one was Deus Ex Mankind Divided. And I'm pretty sure that's the one I never played. Let's check, because I got 100% completion in the one that I did play with all the achievements. Deus Ex Human Revolution. I have 100%. So yeah, that was the first one. And then I never played the sequel, Mankind Divided. And I played the demo from an Xbox Magazine demo disc of Deus Ex 2 in Invisible War. And that was a complete change of pace from this one, because this seemed like a very simulation, very realistic. In this cyberpunk type world where you can get mods and upgrade your body. But I don't think it was not very arcadey. Like, you could take one or two shots, then you would die. But then Invisible War became more of like a Call of Duty shooter where you can take, a bunch of hits and keep on going. And I don't believe Invisible War is very well regarded. I think most people consider Invisible War to be a terrible game. But yeah, I never really played this one other than the first level. I never got into it, but I have heard it's still a great game. Maybe I'll buy it on Steam, assuming you can find it and play it at some point. I don't know. So let's see, what's next? I have no clue. Or are we at the bottom? Oh, another burned game. The original Hitman. I don't even know where this came from, because I don't even know anybody that even had Hitman. At least I don't remember knowing anybody that had Hitman. I think someone burned this for me, and I never even played it. So I know of the franchise. I've never even played. The only Hitman game I've ever actually played was Hitman Go, and that's actually a puzzle game. And I actually just played that because that was a Windows 8 game, or games for Windows Live, something, one of those dead Microsoft platforms. But I played it long after that, just like a year or two ago, and got the completion on that. That was a fun little puzzle game. But I never played a Hitman game. But I know all about it in Agent 47 and how he takes disguises, and you have basically all the creativity in the world to let your mind run with how to pull off your assassinations. But never actually played it. I don't even know if I've ever even installed this game, much less played it. I have Hitman Absolution. I got that through Games with Gold, but I've never played that one either. Let's see here. And my video is just spinning again, so we lost our music until my computer decides to stop being stupid. Alright, next up we got, I think someone gave me this game. I don't remember even playing it. I think when they gave it to me, my computer wasn't powerful enough to play it. And then by the time I got a powerful enough computer, I wasn't interested. But it's just called Gunship. It's a helicopter Apache game. But, oh, you know what? I played this. I did play this. I don't remember if I played it at a friend's house or I played it on my own computer. But it was like a super simulation game. And it was incredibly difficult because you'd take off and then all of a sudden you get hit by a missile from, you have no idea where it came from and you're blown up and you're dead. And basically start the level over again. No checkpoints. So this game, I remember being very difficult. So I didn't really play it because it wasn't interesting. Wasn't fun. I think that's the end of the games. Because I saw a glimpse of the next disc here. Which is not a game, is music, and was one of my, and still is one of my favorite albums of all time. Linkin Park Meteora. So this actually is a burned copy. I bought the special edition, or the collector's edition of Meteora. So I had it, and it came with all this bonus stuff. And a friend of mine in high school, he's like, hey, do you care about the collector's edition? I was like, no, it was just, I just bought it because I think they were sold out of the basic version, so I bought the collector's edition. And he's like, can I buy that off you? I was like, as long as I have, as long as I have the album. So he burned me a copy and made a nice label for it. And I sold him my original copy of Meteora, and he just burned me the music disc and gave it back to me because I just wanted to be able to listen to the album. So that's what we got here. Back when Linkin Park was Linkin Park, because Minutes to Midnight, they started changing their sound. There was still a lot of good songs in Minutes to Midnight, but it was like every other song. There was like a really good song, and then like a song that was like, okay. Then a really awesome song, and then okay. Basically through that entire Minutes to Midnight album. Their next album, I don't even remember what it was called. They became a completely different band, and I lost all interest in them, and at that point they were terrible, and I've never really listened to anything of them since, because their music after that point was absolutely terrible. Yeah, and then I think all the rest of the stuff I got down here is not games. Like that was a Microsoft Office disc. I think most of these are probably empty. Yeah, Visual Studio 2005, which I used for, I think I used that for some projects in college or late high school. Yeah, so yeah, that is it. That is going through the entire CD tower. So what time are we at here? Where do I see? There we go. An hour 15. An hour 17. So that was basically all of my PC games from high school days. So I'll have to pull some of those out and get them reinstalled and play through some of them. Specifically Unreal Tournament, and pull up some of the Unreal Engine stuff that I built. I don't think there was a lot, but I do remember learning it, and I was really interested in it. The main thing that was kind of like the light bulb moment on learning how to make maps, at least in Unreal Engine, was... Oh, man. Thirsty. So normally what you would expect is that when you're building a map, it's a void. Nothing exists there, and you place everything in. How Unreal Engine worked was the exact opposite. Everything was solid. You can't see it, but there's basically matter, like matter that makes up stuff everywhere, and you actually have to input voids of space into it to create rooms and stuff. So that was kind of, once I realized that was kind of like the light bulb that helped make things make more sense. Oh, Venue Verse is still there. Awesome. Glad you're still here listening to me to ramble on. Yeah. So I'm sure that's probably the first time, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you listened to some of my previous stuff. But basically all I do here on my channel is just talk about video game stuff, because I love talking about video games. So I don't know if you can even see all of my stuff on Twitch, because I don't think all of it is there. But all of my content, my live streams and stuff it's only been around for a few months, so it's not a whole lot. But I do a couple of streams a week And that is all on YouTube under my Nerdy Neo YouTube channel if you're interested in checking out my past stuff. It's all evergreen. I don't really talk about news stuff. I just talk about video games, stuff that I like, stuff from my past. Every other Saturday I do my party chat stream where I just talk about fun gaming topics. Like this last Saturday we talked about like who's the most annoying video game character and what's a video game that you missed out on that you always wanted to play and never did. So that's my party chat podcast. Open mic is usually Thursday nights where I just talk about whatever. I may have a guest on. We may talk about whatever. I may stream something. Hey, I got the music working again. So now that we got through that, I think I'm going to stream something because on Party Chat on Saturday, one of the topics that we talked about was if you could compete in a game, no matter whether it's something that's actually something that can be competed in. It could be like a single player, JRPG. But like, what game could you compete in and do the best at? Essentially, what game are you best at? So one of my answers was N+. So I wanted to stream some of N+. So let me see if I can do this correctly, because this is my first official non-test stream via OBS. So let's see here. I want to go... I think this might cut out the audio. Yeah. I think I just lost the music. Camera, mic, monitor. Let me see if I can add in the audio output capture. Desktop audio. There we go. I think that should bring the music back in. So, this computer is quite old, so it can't really power anything. That's not super old as well. I never got this computer with the intent of gaming. So, my Xbox, however, is powerful and is able of playing games. So when I tested this last week, it seemed like it turned out okay. So hopefully, Vanquish, if you're there, let me know how it looks on your end, because I'm getting the little box in the bottom right corner is going between yellow and red, but the kilobits per second seem like it's still plenty high, that it should be smooth enough to be able to, not have it be super low frames per second. So let me find N+. I think it should be in my faves. Yep, there it is. Because what I was saying on Party Chat, if you didn't happen to catch it, is before the people were able to figure out how to cheat and break the leaderboards, for a really long time. Oh, it's getting choppy. Crap. Oh, thanks, Paul. But yeah, before they broke the leaderboards, for a really long time, I was in the top 50 on the leaderboards of this game for a really long time, and I was friends with a lot of people who were in the top 50. We were all always jostling for position. So let me... I don't... Alright. It's super loud in my headphones. Let me know if the music is too loud on your end. I'm going to turn it down because I think it's too loud. It's super loud on my end. I can't turn my headphones down. You might be right, Paul. My PC is running very loudly. But let's see here. Let's go look at the leaderboards and see if I can even find myself, because I played the heck out of this game. So I'm at the top of my friends list. Let's go. How do I go global? Overall. Yes. See, these people broke the leaderboards, and they have like 155 million seconds, which is not possible. This is more legit. 82,000. That might be possible, but it's right on the money. I doubt that's legit. But that 78,605.3, that's a legitimate score. So it looks like the top 50 spots or so are top 51 are broken cheaters. So let's see if we can find me. Midnight. Man. I recognize some of these names, but it's been a decade since I've seen any of them. Can I find me? Oh, what's my score? Oh, wow. I'm way down there. 31,000? Oh, it tells me my rank right there. I dropped... Wow. Okay. I dropped from top 50 all the way down to just below 1,000. Minus 50 for cheaters, so that put me about 960-ish. Still pretty good, though. Unless there's more cheaters than I thought. But these all look like legitimate scores. But yeah, these ones with 150 billion seconds, obviously cheaters. So, one of the things I loved about this game is... Okay, try it at 720. I'll have to figure out how to... Let's see here. I know I can't change it mid-stream, but let me see what my settings are at. Output. Video. Oh, yeah, I am at 1080. Okay. I'll try 720 next time. But I've got the green little square down there, so I think the frame rate should be pretty good. Yeah, but yeah, I might be pushing my PC to its limits. But yeah, one of the cool things is that it had an editor, so you can go and create your own levels, and you can basically play this game forever. User levels don't count towards leaderboards, though. Only the main game and the DLCs do. 1080, 60, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, you could basically play this game forever, and I played it a lot because there is the ability to create levels, and I downloaded a lot of them and played a lot of people's levels. But the base game, you have basically 50 sets, and each one of these sets has 10 in them. What the heck? Why doesn't it say I beat it? These are locked? And each one is 5 levels. So, what the heck? Oh, it didn't sync my progress. That's why. I'm connected to Xbox Live. Why do I not have my data? Let's try relaunching the game. Because I have completed it 100%, so I don't know why it's not saying I have my progress. Okay. Yeah, I'll tone it down to 720 next time. Maybe set it to 30 FPS. What the heck? Did it loot? Maybe it... No, there's no way I never uploaded my save data to the Xbox Live cloud. Maybe I did. Maybe I gotta go back to my Xbox 360 and upload it. But anyways, the first, like, these first that's 5 sets, 5 levels each, so 25, and then 50 levels. Not too terribly bad, not too terribly difficult. But when you got to this one, the last one in the set 10, so that'd be like the 75th level right there. This level right here broke people who were not used to this game because it was this huge increase in skill gap. I think it was called Mission Control or Missile Command or something like that. And a lot of people had trouble with it. I had played a lot of the original N, which was a Flash game before this, and it was way harder than this one. So when I got to this one, I was like a god at it. I was so much better at it than everyone else. And I can't even play it because I have to play through all of these first. I was hoping to play through this one and show it to you. I'll get that taken care of, and I might do that next week. So, but yeah, this level right here really broke people. It was very difficult for a lot of people. So I will get that figured out for next time, since it's not loading my save data, and so I can't play through it. So let's see here. What? There was something else that I was gonna stream if that didn't pan out. Already past midnight at an hour and a half. Shoot, what was it? I don't think it was anything I've been playing recently. Maybe did I write it down? Back to here. All right. So, hopefully, do I even have it installed? I should. But I wanted to start because what I was trying to test stream last week on my PC, because I do have it on Steam, was Republic Commando. So I thought I could stream that. Let's see here. What should be in my Star Wars? Do I have it even installed? Battlefront, Jedi Academy, Republic Commando. I do have it installed. There we go. Let's see how this goes. Because I had this, I had it on Steam, and I played through the first quarter of the game, but I never actually played through the whole game and beat it. So I thought it'd be, maybe I'll stream it playing through this whole game in its entirety for the first time. What's up, Canadian? Welcome back. Yeah, I was just saying that I never played through the entirety of it. I played through the first like quarter of the game, but I've never played through all of it in its entirety. So I thought I'd stream it. I'll probably do like the first level right now, and then we'll probably call it a night. And I'll stream. I won't play this game off stream. I probably won't do that as my open mic nights. I'll probably do it on a different night. Oh my god. It's all wrong. It's all default. Give me that inverted. Yes. Subtitles, always subtitles on. Auto pull maneuvers. I don't know what that means. Ah, there we go. Much better. Why is... There we go. So I got through the... What you missed on? Let's put that on pause for a second. So what you missed out on. I finished going through my tower, all my old PC games. And then I was going to stream some N+. But it doesn't have my save data, so I've got to figure out how to get my save data loaded, because I was going to show some N+, because it tied into what we talked about on Party Chat on Saturday. And I wanted to show a specific level that a lot of people, and that was early on in the game, that was a huge difficulty spike that a lot of people couldn't get through. So since I couldn't stream that, I switched over to this, because I was trying to test stream this last week from my PC, but it kept crashing every time I tried to stream it. But right now I'm playing it on my Xbox, and I'm streaming my Xbox to my PC. So my PC is not doing the heavy lifting right now. Oh, well, it is heavy lifting the stream itself, but not the game. So I'm assuming this must be right at the end of Attack of the Clones. Yeah, the ARC Troopers are badass. The Republic's secret weapon, a massive clone army, is deployed for the first time against the Separatist droid forces. Far above the carnage, the elite commandos of Delta Squad prepare for their first mission. Dun 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 dun. Oh, wrong franchise. 0 Hour Clone Wars, Geonosis. So yeah, this must be right at the end of Attack of the Clones. When the Clone Wars started. Mark would be proud of me for this being really technically the first game I've actually streamed and not just done for like a test or something, because one of his first videos was on Republic Commando. Oh. Use back to the dispenser, stand in front of the device, hold down the A button until your health has been restored. That's ammo. Ah. Ah. How nice is that? Oh, there's no aim down sights. Oh, you have to reload. Wasn't expecting that. How'd I meet Mark? First, not introduced to him, but I watched when he was on the Gaming with Geeks podcast way back in the day, a number of years ago. And then he was the biggest gamer out of them, so I started following his channel. And I was always in his live streams and stuff. And so he made me a mod, and when I finally started my channel, I asked him if he'd be part of my party chat podcast, and said as long as it works in my schedule, he'd be happy to. So we're kind of buddies now. I guess 300 is the max ammo I can carry. Is there a sprint? That's crouch. I don't. Not a big fan of this giant reticle. I mean, I suppose a little more precise, but I think you can switch it into sniper configuration later on. Lower right. After acquiring different types of grenades, the display will show the type currently selected. Okay. Ah, okay. Left trigger. I was 62. Oh, there we go. Right. Oh, my teammates. Scorch. First explosive solution above all others. His preferred weapon is the DC-17 anti-armor attachment. That sounds awesome. Use the assign squad mate to a maneuver by pointing at the blue maneuver icon and pressing the use button. You can cancel any maneuver by pressing use again. What is the use button? It's like use. Oh, okay, I was like, how do I know what the buttons are in each of these configurations? Use is. Oh, just A. Melee is B. Jump. Oh, jump is Y. That's okay. Reload X, obviously. Cycle detonator black. What the? I'm assuming black is in this case LB and white is RB. Let's find out. Oh, no, other way around. White is LB. So, Y is jump. Alrighty. Large, always supersize it. Okay. Is it until the second mission? Because you have it, all the weapons are the same gun, I believe, just switched into different modes. Right? Or do you actually get different weapons? Oh, you can aim down sights. It's R3, okay. But it doesn't seem like there's an actual sprint button. Oh. That was genius. Hold on, I just lit myself on fire. You can pick up weapons from fallen enemies, but not the droids. Okay. Yeah, give me a second. I'm healing because I set myself on fire because I'm a moron. Oh. That's my buddy. Fixer. Has a knack for slicing computer systems. Bypass security. His preferred weapon is the Katarn Armor Gauntlet Vibroblade. Katarn Armor. Interesting. Kyle Katarn wasn't around for many years later. SWAT icon display these members' current command or maneuver, and location and color of the icon will show their current health condition. Alright. If you want to tell this log, you can order them to retrieve Bacta from a dispenser, point at the Bacta dispenser and press use. Oh, my health is full. Okay. Hey, what's up, Beard of Liberty? Bro, I was just thinking about trying to play this. It crashed on me constantly, though. Yeah, when I was doing I did 2 test streams last week. Well, I did 4 total streams last week, but I did 2 test streams. One was just OBS and me and the camera, and then the other was me trying to test streaming a game. And this is one of like the 5 games I own on Steam, so I figured my computer could handle it because it's really old. So I tried streaming Republic Commando, but yeah, it kept crashing on me too. What I'm doing right now is my Xbox is actually playing it, and I'm streaming my Xbox to my computer via the Xbox Windows app. So my Xbox is actually doing the lifting and not my computer, and that's how I'm able to do it without it crashing. Oh, that's... Why does it fill up in the opposite direction? Go clockwise, not counterclockwise. That's dumb. That's my ammo. Wow, shoot the explosive barrel, stupid. My goodness, that was dumb. Nice. Yeah, I think when I had Canadian on last week, he was talking about the Republic Commando novels. I've read a lot of EU books, but I never read the Republic Commando books. And I never actually played through this entire game. I played through like the first few levels, but never ended up finishing it. So I thought it'd be cool to stream my first real actual full playthrough of this game, since this is a classic, and I just never ended up playing it. Wait, if I'm supposed to go this way, then what's this way? Oh. Where the guys I just killed were. Thank goodness there's no friendly fire. It's about to explode. Get away from it, genius. Stealth? What? This would be the droids we're looking for? That doesn't happen for another 20 years. How would you know to reference that? That hasn't happened yet. Use the squad command to change the stance of your squad. Search and destroy. Advance aggressively. Secure area. Okay. How do I do those, though? The heck? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was when Canadian and I were talking about it last week. Yeah, you read the Republic Commando books and they were awesome. Which I definitely assumed that they would be good. Tons of good books in the EU. I don't know how to use those squad commands. It's like you can do all these different squad commands. How? I look through the buttons, and none of the buttons actually do anything for squad commands. So if you guys know how to access those squad commands, please let me know. Why do you have a different voice? Shouldn't they all have the same voice? We're clones. We should all sound the same. Shoot. Oh. Target the enemy and press the use button to engage. Oh, okay. It just depends on what you point out when you use it. Will tell them what to do. Okay. Yeah, it seems like it's very context-based. It just depends on what I'm pointing at when I hit use. Why won't this guy die? Oh my goodness, that was a lot. Jeez. Oh, I forgot I have grenades. Derp. Oh. I'm waiting for you to open the door so I can go get him. I was actually able to do damage? I think that was scripted because I only shot him like 10 times. The super battle droid took more damage than that. Oh, we go back the other way. Oh, we do. Alrighty. Alright, I'm assuming that's basically the start of level 2. So I just wanted to play through the first level tonight. I'll probably do some more streaming of this. I'll plan to stream this whole game. I've never played it before, so, in its entirety. So I'm going to save it at that point. Okay. Oh, new. There we go. So I think we'll call it there for tonight's stream. And I'll probably do, because I may do streaming occasionally as part of open mic on Thursday night, but I think I want to keep that mostly discussion based. So if I do end up streaming games, I'll probably do it a different night. And maybe not specifically. I probably won't even stream games that much, but I don't even know if I'll keep it on a same night. It may jump around. We'll see. So, yeah, I know I love it. It's basically Star Wars' version of Halo. It's very Halo-esque of the the original Halo. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it. So, but yeah, so next, let's see here. Let me go back to here. Put me full screen. Let's play some more music there while we sign off here. So thank you, Angry Canadian and Beard Liberty, for joining me tonight. I think Paul Hadouken was in the chat earlier. Yep. I'm not sure if he's still there. And I know Tim's dropped in to say hi. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thanks, Canadian, for being patient while I got all my computer garbage figured out. I'll probably cut that part out of the stream and repost it afterwards. But yeah, thanks for joining me for another open mic as I went through all my old PC games, my PC tower. Next thing I got coming up is next week. Open mic is going to be on Tuesday instead of Thursday. I believe at 8 p.m. Pacific. And I'm going to be having the Gourd King on as my guest because he has like Monday. I think he said he has like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays off. So Thursday nights wouldn't work for him because he works like super early on Friday mornings. So I'll be switching it up next week so that I can have him on. And we'll be talking about video games. So that's the only thing I got planned for next week. I might end up streaming. You know what? I'll plan on. Since I'm not going to be doing open mic on Thursday night, I'll probably stream some more of Republic Commando next Thursday night. That's what I'll plan on doing. So, I scheduled for a stream Tuesday. Well, you can catch it on the replay. But I appreciate you guys always hopping in, saying hi, and hanging out with me while I talk about games. So, that will do it for tonight's open mic. September 14th is now the 15th, but started on the 14th. And yeah, that's what I got coming up for next week. So, I think I will pause the music there. All right, you guys, I will see you on the next one. In the meantime, game on.